Why, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Truly Odd podcast, where we bring you the latest in game news and movie news. I am your host, Joe Garcia. So grab your controllers, get your popcorn, and let's go ahead and dive right on into these topics, shall we? Starting with our game news topics of the day. And our first game news topic today comes to us from Game Rant, and this discussing Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford commented on the Stop Killing Game campaign. Pitchford supports the activism behind preserving games, but argues that the live service titles is inherently designed to end, marking permanent preservation challenging. He likely he likens game sunsetting to the inevitability of death and entropy, referring to Battleborn as a metaphor to fading digital experiences. If you guys don't know, Battleborn was a game and its servers got shut down back in January of 2021. While some studios cite financial limitations, critics argue the preservation of games is a via private servers is feasible and necessary. However, the movement still remains unresolved. So there's just a lot of back and forward going on in the game industry with the Stop Killing Games movement as live service games continue to shut down and people that pay for it continue to just not have access to the games that they paid for and that they wanted to purchase and buy. And this is why we're seeing a lot of studios, even including Nintendo, saying that you are renting their service, that you're basically paying for a subscription. You don't own your Nintendo Switch, you are renting it, or you are a subscription of it, so they could end it at any time without your knowledge or no regards to you as a player. And now they're doing that with games, where you're not owning your games, you're licensing your games. So that's basically how they're going to start summarizing, releasing games and start saying things of that sort, which is not very beneficial for us gamers. So hopefully the Stop Killing Game movement can get a resolution at some point, but it looks like it's just going to be back and forth. Me personally, I stand in the guards of I think games should be preserved. You know, films are preserved, even if it's a low B movie or high or a triple A movie or blockbuster movie, whatever. Films should be reserved, and so should games. And a lot of players that enjoy this game should have access to the games that they purchase, unless maybe free to play. That I kind of understand. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let's go ahead and move on to our next game news topic of the day. And our next game news topics of the day is another story from Game Rant. It looks like Gears of War Reloaded is struggling to find an audience on the PS5. Go ahead and take a look here. The game has sold approximately 259,000 copies on the PS5, making up just 18.1% of the total downloads, despite being the franchise's first release on the platform. Analy- Analytics cite dated mechanics and steep multiplayer learning curves as major turnoff for newcomers, suggesting the remaster may not be the best entry point for a PlayStation audience. Most players remain on the Xbox, PC, and Game Pass. Availability likely continues to lower the price on the PS5. And I think that second statement is true. As far as this having a learning curve or for multiplayer and it just not having a steep mechanics or whatever the hell, and old dated mechanics, I just think that's ridiculous at this point to even cite that. Every PS5 owner knew that this game was going to be a remaster. They knew it was going to be old controls and things of that sort. So that just makes zero sense why they would even say that at this point. The truth is, and the truth of the matter is, that a lot of PS5 users, I know there's a whole bunch of PS5 versus Xbox guys out there, but the truth is, the majority of players are doing both. They have their PS5 for their PlayStation games, and they have Xbox Game Pass because games are essentially almost free to play when they're releasing. So why would they need to purchase Gears of War Reloaded on the PS5 when they can play it on Xbox Game Pass for free? And herein lies the problem with Xbox overall. They're going to try to release games on the PS5, try to make that little extra buck, that extra money, but they're already losing money because they're not selling their damn games. They're giving away for free on Xbox Game Pass. So this is going to continue to be an issue because why would anyone purchase the game if they can just go on Xbox Game Pass? Unless PS5 players like myself who don't have Game Pass and aren't very interested in Game Pass want to play Gears of War, which is what I did. I personally bought a hard copy just so I could throw it in my cousin's face. Sorry, Timmy, I love you, but yeah, I just wanted to send him a picture of Gears of War in a blue box or a blue case, and that was kind of me being spiteful at that moment. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you think it's just because of the mechanics issues being old or the multiplayer being a curve to learn, which is, in my opinion, ridiculous? But let me know what you guys think. Personally, I just think it's what's the point of buying it when I could just get it on the Xbox Game? Well, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let's go ahead and move on to our next game news topic of the day, and our next game news topic is followings. It looks like hold on one second. Get my notes here. Looks like Mechanics Game is not finished with the Wolfenstein series. Studio head Jerk, I hope that's his name, by the way, because it's right here. By the way, I'm not calling him a jerk. That's his name. Jerk Gutsfussen. I'm pronouncing that horribly wrong. Forgive me. Anyways, revealed that BJ's Blad's Kozik's, I'm pronouncing that wrong as well, story has always intended to be a trilogy, suggesting that the third mainline entry is still planned for development. Players haven't controlled BJ, as they call the character, since 2017's The New Colossus, with later titles like Youngbloods and Cyberpulse shifting to other characters. Gutsfunson, which is Jerk's name, stated, "We're not done with Wolfenstein yet. We have a new story to tell," and reinforcing the studio's desire to continue the Wolfenstein franchise. So let me know what you guys think of this. Are you excited to get another entry in the Wolfenstein? Were you interested in the main character, I guess, BJ? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I haven't played a Wolfenstein game, so I don't know the storyline. But if they release this game or make another game, maybe it's a great opportunity to go ahead and jump in to the Wolfenstein franchise. So, but yeah, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing Jerk's name wrong. I just that's how it's spelled. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you excited for another Wolfenstein entry focusing on the character BJ? Let's go ahead and move on to our next game news topic of the day. And this is kind of two for one story here being told. This is regarding what is it? A promising update for Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 and Kingdom Hearts 4 from Tetsuya Nomura. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing his name incorrectly, but it looks like director Tetsuya Nomura confirms that both game titles are advancing well, with Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 already having a set release timeline, aiming for a 2027 launch, though no date has been disclosed. While follower detail. Oh, hold on. Forgive me. While fewer details are were shared, Nomura assured the fans that Kingdom Hearts 4 is also stated in production, and more updates will be coming when the time is right. So it's just letting us know that for sure that we're going to be getting a Kingdom Hearts 4, which is awesome. If you haven't seen, I personally didn't know this until I read this article, so maybe it's because it's been announced so long ago. But if you guys want to check out this video, it is going to be, all these links are going to be in the description down below if you're interested in checking it out. And of course, we have here some screenshots of what we're going to be looking for in the Kingdom Hearts game, which looks like a lot of fun. And I'm excited to be checking that out whenever that's going to be released. I haven't played a Kingdom Hearts game since Kingdom Hearts 2, I think. So it'll be a good opportunity. I should probably buy the one where it's like 3.5 or whatever it's called, the one that has all of them. That would be pretty good to get for if you guys are interested in checking out a Kingdom Hearts game. But Kingdom Hearts 4 looks like it's getting a solid progression moving forward with the development cycle. So hopefully we're going to be seeing both games sometime in 2027, 2028. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you excited for Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3, or are you more excited for Kingdom Hearts Part 4? Me personally, I'm excited more for Kingdom Hearts Part 4. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let's go ahead and move on to our last game news topic of the day, and this is regarding the new Silksong game that has been released. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Indie developers are worried that Silksong's $20 price tag are worried about $20 price tag because they need to compete. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Basically, to summarize what's going on in this article, Developers worry that Slingsong low price set unrealistic expectations for similar scoped indie games, especially those with active payroll and production costs. This is an interesting part. We're gonna dive more into that right now. Citing notes that Team Cherry unique development model working without direct pay allows for lower price that most studios can't afford to match. While some fans support a fair price for similar titles, others in the industry fear that the games with higher costs may be priced out of existence. So let's go back real quick to that note that the payroll. Now, from I did a little bit of research on this. I haven't seen anything suggesting that Team Cherry does not pay their developers. They definitely pay their developers. The way that they do it though is they allow less financial burden on the team because they have creative control, so no one's over here making decisions. They don't have any ridiculous high overhead, and I believe developers can come in and out of development as they please, being paid for the work that they do on site. And a lot of these developers are already, pretty successful and wealthy, so that's on them. But they do have a very small team working on this Sling Song game, and I believe they had a small team working on the first game. The first game, I believe, got a Kickstarter campaign going where they asked for, I think, $22,000. They end up with like $57,000. My numbers might be a little off there, so they already raised good numbers there. But the most important aspect, and the one thing that kind of throws me off, is if people are saying that their problem is that they're because they're only doing this because they don't have a payroll or direct pay that allows them to kind of lower their costs for the studio overall. That's bullshit, and let me explain why. As of August 2025, Hollow Knights, the first game, has sold over 15 million copies. Now, mind you, the game was normally priced at $15 for the past however many years it's been out. Mind you, there's been sales and updates and things like that. But so roughly, the merchandise and all that stuff. Let's say roughly the game's made $200 million. Okay, at $15 a pop, $15 million. You're looking at $225 million. But let's just do the lower estimate and say it's $200 million with, like I said, with investments, investors, and all that dumb shit that comes along with it, and people being paid out. But in total, $200 million. They kept a small overhead for the past. Believe they've been developing this game for the past 7 years. Before it's 7, 8 years, they've been working on Sling Song. So they kept a low overhead. They didn't rush the game. They had creative control. They didn't let no one overtake what they were doing. They had a high budget because they didn't spend and hire more people to hurry out the new game. Originally Sing Song was supposed to be DLC, but they ended up wanting to actually create a sequel game because they had so much content and they were working on so many things. That's what took the game so long. So that is why that this game is priced at $20, because they refuse to go overhead and over budget. And noticing this year, as we've had thousands and thousands of layoffs because studios are overreaching, hiring more people than they need, and having ridiculous amounts of overhead. This is a studio that knows how to do it right. The team behind Sling Song knows what they're doing, knows how to do it right. And I commend them for keeping such a small team and taking their time working on their game and making it the best it can be. And it is already very successful at $20. And other studios, if they want to compete, they need to not have such high damn overhead and really focus on what they want to develop. And that's the truth of it. So it's sad that indie developers are complaining about this, because if you're an indie developer, that means you're not a big studio. That means you're not Sony. That means you're not Xbox. That means you're not Nintendo. You're an indie studio. So why the hell are your games costing $40 when your game should be costing $15 or $20? They should be small like this because it's supposed to be a small team and really getting people interested in your game so you can continue to develop and become a bigger studio if that's what you want. So congratulations to the team Cherry, and they're doing successful. And whoever's bitching about them not being able to compete, figure out how to compete. I know that's mean to say, but really, like, they've done such a great job here at Team Cherry. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Is that a little harsh? Should I be more understanding to what other developers are going through? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Now let's go ahead and oh yeah, that does it for our game news topics of the day. Let's go ahead and move on to our movie news topics of the day. And our first movie news topic of the day is talking about the weekend box office. Let's go ahead and take a look here at what the weekend brought us. It looks like The Conjuring uh last what? The Conjuring, I'm just going to call it. The Conjuring came in with $83 million. Now, mind you, these aren't the actuals, these are the estimates, so it could be 82, 84. We're going to have to wait and see what tomorrow brings or later today brings. But $83 million over this weekend, with Hamlet being released in theaters as well, coming in at $10 million. Weapons still hangs in there in the top five at number three with $5.37 million. Freakier Friday as well as hanging in there with $3.8 million. Caught Stealing debuts at is it debut or is it the third weekend? Anyways, Caught Stealing's at number five with 3.2 million, and The Roses is at number six with 2.8 million dollars. I would continue down the list, but you guys can take a look here if you're interested in seeing what the top 10 are. But the most important thing, in addition to this box office story that I wanted to mention, well, a couple things I wanted to mention, is one, the ridiculous success of Weapons. Weapons is doing absolutely phenomenal, $251 million worldwide on a very low budget, from my understanding. Also, Freakier Friday is doing quite well as also with $142 million worldwide. Mind you, this was supposed to be a direct to Disney Plus movie. So congratulations to them. They ended up making quite a bit of money on it. Now, I believe the budget for Freakier Friday was about 40 million, give or take a couple million, with marketing and stuff like that. So they didn't necessarily do gangbuster numbers, but successful nonetheless. But the big story here is The Conjuring. It looks like let me go ahead and read this to you guys. The Conjuring opens to $83 million domestically with $187 million globally, marking Warner Brothers' seventh consecutive film to debut above $40 million, a record-setting run. So that is awesome for the people over at Warner Brothers to accomplish this. Let me go ahead and move this over here. And just so you guys know what the other movies are, I'll list them off right here. But what a run! Could you imagine an historical run for a studio? Seven consecutive films making $40 million. I'm surprised, honestly. I thought that had been done before, and I guess it hadn't. So let me go ahead and list off what the other seven movies are, or the seven movies in a row for Warner Brothers. It is a Minecraft movie debuting at $162 million. Sinners debuting at $48 million. Final Destination Bloodlines debuting at $51 million. F1, the movies, debuting at $57 million. Superman at $125 million. Weapons at $43.5 million. And now The Conjuring at $83 million. What a run for Warner Brothers. I'm sure they're fucking popping bottles and having a great time over there right now. I'm actually curious what their next movie to be released is. Let's see if we can find out. Warner Brothers movies 2025. Let's see if we have any upcoming Warner Brothers movies of 2025. Because I'm curious if they might get to number 8 or number 9. I'm not seeing anything. It's more of The Conjuring. Oh, it looks like they have one battle after another. I don't think that's going to open to 40 million, so that might break their run or their streak here. Sadly, their streak might be broken with one battle after another, but let's wait and see what happens. But congratulations to them over there. I'm sure they're celebrating and having a great time. But let me know what you guys think of these box office results. Does anything surprise you? And are you shocked that Warner Brothers actually has a record with 7 films passing the $40 million on opening weekend? Let's go ahead and move on to our next movie news topic of the day. And it looks like we finally got the trailer to Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out Knives Out mystery, which just debuted today. Now, mind you, YouTube, bit of bitch, so I can't show you guys everything here. But let's go ahead and jump in. We have a phenomenal cast here. I believe, I don't remember her name, but I believe this is the girl from Alien, Romulus, who's phenomenal. Uh, Kerry Washington, who I love. I don't know who that gentleman is. And just this cast is phenomenal with, of course, Glenn Close. I love Glenn Close. She's a phenomenal actress. I loved her ever since 101 Dalmatians when I was a child. Don't judge me. Anyways, but this looks like a great, fun, entertaining movie. We got Josh Brolin here as the priest who happens to get killed in a mystery. He was in a metal box, and this other pastor or priest found him, and the mystery ensues. And you know what I love about this is the first movie in the Knives Out franchise took place in a mansion, very secluded, very almost isolated, moving here and there, not a lot of different locations. Whereas the second one had a very much bigger scope on an island and a whole bunch of like rich people going on. And this one, it kind of brings it back to a small little church and things of that sort. So I'm loving the playing of upscale, downscale. They don't have to make it ridiculously out of this world, kind of how Marvel does. You save the city, you save the world, you save the universe. No, it's you solve a billionaire murder, you solve another billionaire murder, and you go back to a church murder. So I'm loving that they don't have to make it bigger and grander than what it was. It's just the mystery of solving who murdered these people. And this trailer looks phenomenal. The acting looks great, and I cannot wait to check it out. And it will be released in theaters temporarily on November 26th if you guys are interested in that, and it will be released on Netflix on December 12th. Now let's go ahead and move on to our next movie news topic of the day. Also, I'll have the trailer to Wake Up Dead Man in the description down below if you guys are interested in checking it out for yourself. But let's go ahead and move on to our next topic. It looks like the Cliffhanger reboot is already getting a sequel. Now, first off, I didn't know we were going to get a Cliffhanger reboot. Apparently, this was news back in 2024, so before I was ever doing the podcast. So this is why I've so far have enjoyed doing the show, that there's just things that I had no idea about that I can now appreciate. If you haven't seen the original Cliffhanger, stop watching this podcast. Stop listening to this podcast. Go watch Cliffhanger. It's a lot of fun. It's entertaining. And, there's an inside joke between me and my brother. Anytime we have a booger hanging here, we say there's a Sylvester Stallone hanging from your nose because he's just a cliffhanger. It's stupid, I know, but just something that we've thoroughly enjoyed as brothers throughout our lives. But let's go ahead and take a look here. A follow-up to the upcoming Cliffhanger reboot is already in early development, despite the film not yet being released. The reboot stars Lily James, Pierce Brosnan, and is directed by Djimon Coltsare, forgive me if I'm pronouncing his name wrong, and is currently in post-production. Just so you know, Djimon, forgive me if I'm pronouncing his name wrong, has directed the following movies: Black Adam, The Shallows, and Carry On for Netflix. He's also directed other movies. I think The Woman in the Window that was just released came out as well. So he has a pretty big resume pretty big resume under him, and I think he's a good director overall. So I'm excited to see what he does with a Cliffhanger franchise. Producers are investing in the reboot's future, citing confidence in reviving the 1993 Sylvester Stallone-led action classic for new generation. So what I don't know what to say about this, honestly, and let me tell you why. This movie must have turned out really, really good for a really, really low price if they're already developing a sequel before it's ever released. Because if this movie flops at the box office and they're already doing like pre-production for the sequel, that's wild and crazy. Now, I don't think there's a current release date for the Cliffhanger movie. Let's see. Cliffhanger reboot release date. Let's see. There is no current release date. They're trying to aim for April 3rd, 2026. So we still got, let's see, how many months from now? Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 months. In 7 months, they will definitely start to get to the point where they're already in developing, if not already filming, the sequel to this. So I'm very curious as to how good this movie turned out to be. Lily James is a phenomenal actress and very, very gorgeous, and so I think she's going to do phenomenal in this movie, in this role. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you excited for a Cliffhanger reboot, and are you even more excited that you're going to be getting a sequel to it already? I hope Sylvester Stallone makes a cameo, or has a little part to play. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let's go ahead and move on to our next movie news topics of the day. And it looks like Josh Gad hopes to start filming the Chris Farley biopic in early 2025. Director Josh Gad hopes to begin filming the Chris Farley story in early 2020. Oh, sorry, I meant 2026. My fault. 2026, with Paul Walter Hauser set to star as the late comic icon. Gad, just hold on one second. Let me get my notes. I have them in the wrong place. Anyways, Gad describes the project as super big, citing its period setting and scale as and is working with New Line to reduce the cost of this secure a green light. Forgive me, guys. The film is based on Chris Farley's show biopic, the Chris Farley show biopic, and written by biography, excuse me, not biopic. The Chris Farley show biography, and is written by Scott Nessinger and Michael H. Weber. Again, horrible names. Forgive me for pronouncing those wrong. With Lauren Michaels producing under Broadway Video. Forgive me, guys. Sometimes my dyslexia kicks in hard, and it's hard for me to read, so forgive me for that. But let's go ahead and take a look at this. If you don't know who Paul Walter Hauser is, this is this gentleman right here, and he's just taking over Hollywood. He's been doing a lot of different roles. Even though he's been in smaller roles, I think he's doing great. I think he'll be an interesting, even though he looks nothing like Chris Farley, I feel like he does have the comedy chops. He's the right size, and I feel like he can really channel the right characteristics of Chris Farley. As far as Josh Gad, I don't know what he has directed in the past. Let's see if we can find out what Josh Gad has directed. I don't think he has directed anything. If he has, it's been smaller films, but we have seen him in a lot of movies, and he's a great actor. He's a great performer. So I'd be very curious. Oh no, I do not see here any directing credits. We got acting, we got producing, we got writing. No, I'm not seeing anything for directing. So this would probably be his directorial debut. And what a debut that would be to really do a successful film about Chris Farley. Now, if you don't know who Chris Farley is, I highly recommend you guys go on YouTube and do your due diligence and research who he is. Watch some of his sketches. He has one of the funniest sketches on Saturday Night Live with another great actor who passed in, oh my God. Why can't I think of his name? Dirty Dancing. Oh my God, Dirty Dancing. Jesus and Roadhouse. Oh my God, what's his name? Patrick Swayze. Sorry. Yeah, if I go on YouTube and look up Chris Farley, Patrick Swayze, Chippendales routine or something like that, it is just absolutely hilarious. I grew up on Chris Farley. My favorite film of his growing up was Beverly Hills Ninja, because I was a dumb kid and I just enjoyed that movie so much. Originally I watched that movie because it had the actor from Mortal Kombat in it, and that introduced me to Chris Farley. And then from there I watched other Chris Farley things, probably stuff I shouldn't have watched at that young age, but I did anyways. And but yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think this is a good idea for Josh Gad to have his directorial debut possibly for the Chris Farley biopic, or were you hoping for someone more prestigious in directing taking over? And what do you think of Paul Walter Hauser taking over as Chris Farley? And I hope they do that sketch in the movie. I think it would be great to kind of relive it and redo it and refilm it in a way. And I'm curious who they would get to play Patrick Swayze, but that don't matter. I'm just excited for this film, and I'm a big fan of Chris Farley. And I highly recommend you guys introduce yourselves to him if you haven't seen or don't know about him already. Let's go ahead and move on to our next movie news topics of the day. And this is going to be our last movie news topic today. And it looks like we have another casting for the Highlander movie. Djimon Hounsou is going to be joining the Highlander remake. Hounsou will play an immortal African warrior in Amazon MGM's Highlander remake, starring Henry Cavill, Russell Crowe, Dave Bautista, and Karen Gillan. Directed by Chad Stahelski, the film is set to start shooting, late September, and will release theatrically with Cavill starring and as Connor McLeod. So Phenomenal news. I love Djimon Hounsou. I think he's very underutilized in Hollywood, and I think every role he's been in, he fucking brings it, and he's good. Originally, I wanted him to play Black Panther before they cast Chadwick Boseman. Nothing against Chadwick. I think he did a phenomenal job. But I just think Djimon Hounsou, in my opinion, screamed Black Panther. Sadly, they cast him in Guardians of the Galaxy and wasn't able to take over that role. But if they were to recast him, I wouldn't mind it if Djimon Hounsou played Black Panther from another universe. I think that's something they should have done from the start. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you excited to see Djimon Hounsou in the Highlander movie? I think he does action, acting, everything great. He's a very underutilized actor. And so I'm very excited to check out this Highlander movie. They just keep adding talent after talent after talent to this. And to see Chad Stahelski, the director of John Wick, take over this film, just the things that they're going to be doing action wise, I cannot wait for this film. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Truly Odd Podcast, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. And always, guys, remember, stay true, be odd.